Hello everyone, this is Stephanie, your CSA coach, and it is week 15A of our 2026 CSA season. I'm hopping on a little bit early today because I have to travel to help my niece move into college this afternoon and tomorrow. So slight change in schedule, but we're getting this information out to you guys. Emails went out yesterday. It is also, it should be in your inbox if you haven't seen it already. Lots of important information, details about our share. And if you did not receive it, Trisha has also been posting a link to our Facebook group. So make sure you read that at length, start to finish. Lots of important information in there. Jumping right into this week's shares, we still have watermelon. Watermelon is stored in the fridge. You can pick yellow or red. Love both. They're both sweet, wonderful, easy, yummy, just snacks. But you're gonna store it in the fridge. It's really good cold, especially on a hot day. Pairs really well with like yogurt or granola bowls, cottage cheese. The other day I had a salad with watermelon on it, like a watermelon arugula salad. I posted, so last week's recipe was a watermelon drink, a watermelon mocktail. And this week's recipe is also gonna be focused on watermelon. I just had a ton of different ideas. So we're gonna focus on the watermelon and the dandelion greens, believe it or not. So that combo is a good combo. But store it in the fridge. You can chop it up, just eat it as is, or do lots of different things with it. Tons of recipes on the website, a recipe last week that focused on watermelon, and also a recipe coming on Thursday that focused on watermelon. Next up, we have summer squash. Summer squash is stored in the crisper drawer of your fridge. Once you're ready to use it, chop it up. You can eat it raw on salads. You can grill it. So we like slicing it into long strips and then throwing it on the grill. You can roast it. You can do a sheet pan meal. It's fantastic in stir fries. It's really good in baked goods. Most often shredded. Pairs really well with things like eggs, so you can put it in a frittata or a quiche. So lots of options there. We have cucumbers. Cucumbers are also stored in the crisper drawer of our fridge. Once you're ready to use them, rinse them off. You can peel them. You do not have to peel them. You can eat the outside. Thinly slice them and put them on salads, chop them up, use them in dips. Lots of veggies that would work in dip, like a veggie platter or veggie dip. What else for cucumbers? Cucumber pairs really well with, it's refreshing. So you can do like a cucumber water if you want something different. Throw a few slices of cucumber in your water. But delicious just eaten. You can pickle them. And you can also do a cucumber salad. Quick pickled cucumbers are on the website, and there's also a cucumber salad on the website. So I'll link to that recipe. We got to pick green beans and or Romano beans. Those fields were a little bit muddy, so wear proper footwear. Stored in the fridge, in either a container like this or a Ziploc bag. Once you're ready to use them, rinse them off. You can eat them raw, both can be eaten raw, or you can roast them, you can grill them, you can throw them in grill packets. So go to the website and there's a recipe for, I think we call them grill packets, but basically you're using a foil packet, throwing all kinds of veggies in there with some sort of cooking fat, some seasoning, throwing it on the grill, and then you pull it off, and that's a great side. We love eating them raw, but we like steaming them, and I also like roasting them and grilling them. So options there. We got to pick shishito peppers. Shishito peppers can either be green, so this one's starting to turn. We've got like a darker color and also a red. They're all good. So pick them, throw them into either a Ziploc bag or a Tupperware container, throw them into your fridge. Shishito peppers they can be eaten raw. They're most often cooked. So they're either roasted. I prefer them blistered, which is high heat on the stovetop. You can grill them, so throw them on skewers, throw them on the grill. You can throw them on sheet pans. You can actually freeze them if you want. They would work as a substitute for other peppers, so like a fajita dish or something like that. You could use shishitos instead. You can also pickle shishitos. So options there. We have dandelion greens. Dandelion greens are stored in the fridge in a Debbie Meyer green bag. Once you're ready to use them, rinse them off. If you soak them in ice water for like 5 minutes, it takes a little bit of the bitterness out. They are fantastic for you nutritionally. These will be showcased in this week's recipe, so stay tuned for that on Thursday. Lightly dressed as a salad, a simple saute, so simple sauteed greens with like an onion and a garlic. That's another option also. But definitely there's recipes on the website for dandelion greens and one coming on Thursday. We have cilantro. Cilantro is stored either in a Ziploc bag or like an herb saver, or most often in a container of water in the fridge. So definitely keep it cold. Cilantro pairs well with any of our Mexican dishes. So our salsas, our guac, there's like green sauces that you can make. You can definitely throw it into marinades. You can throw it into like a vinaigrette. But really good in, we have tomatoes, so really good paired with the tomatoes. We have scallions. Scallions are stored in a large Debbie Meyer green bag in the fridge. Light oniony flavor. So chop them up and use them in salads. You can use them in this week's recipe as an oniony substitute. You can dry them, so put them in the dehydrator and dry them. You can chop them up and freeze them, but really good just as like in a dressing, in a marinade. Because they're a lighter oniony flavor, you're gonna want more of them to get, like if a dish requires onions and you're substituting scallions instead, use more of the scallions. We have potatoes. Potatoes are stored in a cool, dry place. Once you're ready to reuse them, rinse them off really well, scrub them. You do not need to peel them. They can be boiled, they can be roasted. We like to roast them. It's probably the easiest way to cook them, but they can be boiled, they can be mashed. You can grill them, so take a look at those grill packets, lots of veggies that work for those. And there's lots of dishes that incorporate potatoes. So take a look at the website if you're looking for some new things to try. Our cantaloupe, we have been blessed this season with a lot of wonderful sweet sugar cube cantaloupe. So delicious, stored in the fridge. Once you're ready to use it, chop it up, chop it in half, pull out those seeds, and then chop it up. And we just serve it as a side. Great paired with like a breakfast, so a granola bowl or cottage cheese. If you have not tried the cantaloupe popsicles, that recipe that got posted this season, definitely try that. It's wonderful. I know I'm biased with the recipes, but it came out really good. We also got to pick 3 hot peppers stored in the crisper drawer of the fridge. Basically, we're using hot peppers to add heat to any dish. So whether you're cooking a chili or you're making a pico de gallo, or you want to add heat to, I like adding heat to pretty much anything now. Really good recipe on the website is my hot pepper honey. I like keeping that in stock, so I make that often and then use that in the salad dressing recipe that's also posted in that same post. You can freeze any of our hot peppers, so just rinse them off, chop them up, and throw them in the freezer. If you remove the membranes and the seeds, you're gonna get less heat. If you include those, you'll get more heat. And that's true for any hot pepper that you use. We have sweet peppers, also stored in the crisper drawer of our fridge. These are bell peppers, yellow bells. These are the sweets. Really good in salads, really good just chopped up as a side. Again, like I said earlier, great veggie platter. So you could do your green beans, you could do your cherry tomatoes, your cucumbers, your zucchini, and your peppers, and make a beautiful veggie platter this week with all the veggies we have. Also great for, we got a lot of them this week, so you could do the sheet pan fajita meal. That would be a good option. And they can be frozen. So not this past Friday, but the Friday before that, I put up a post about freezing the sweet peppers, or any peppers in general. We got to pick cherry tomatoes. These are stored generally on the counter. You can store them in the fridge if you think they'll last longer. I like to keep them on the counter. These are fantastic. So any of our tomatoes you can use in our roasted tomato sauce or our roasted tomato soup. Both of those recipes are on the website. These are great in a veggie tray. They're also great in like our pico de gallos or our bruschetta. Last but not least, we have our heirloom and red early girl tomatoes stored on the counter. Once you slice them, they must be stored in the fridge. These are fantastic, again, for our roasted tomato sauce, our roasted tomato soup. Sandwiches, we've been eating BLTs or just tomato sandwiches. What else have we been using them for? Mostly that. You can just chop them up and make a tomato salad, so tomatoes and onions. If you still have torpedo onions from last week, that would pair really well with our heirloom tomatoes. You can do a caprese salad. Really easy to use tomatoes. So take a look at the website if you're looking for something different. That is it for this week. Take a look at what you have left from last week. Make a plan for things that you have left, and then I would focus probably on our dandelion greens and our cilantro, since those are the things that probably should be used first. Make a plan for those. If you have recipes that you're loving that incorporate things that are in this week's share, please make sure you're posting them and sharing them to our Facebook group, and I will see you guys all again next week.